Driver0616 writes, "Greetings AMC movie crew. I rarely find a game that can have a rich story that can translate good onto the big screen. I love the Dead Space and Alan Wake franchises. They both have great characters with a rich background. How well do you think these games do on the big screens, and what actors do you think should play either Isaac or Alan? Thanks, and keep bringing on the filthy."
I personally haven't played Dead Space, but Alan Wake is actually one of my favorite franchises. Could it be a movie? I don't think so, just because it wasn't even that popular of a video game franchise. I loved it, and it's like a cult hit, but if you're not even that popular on the video game platform, I don't know if that's going to transition to the movies. As far as who's going to play Alan Wake, I think this guy's a little bit older than I like, but I think he fits the vibe perfectly. Is Dylan McDermott? Yeah, from American Horror Story. I always get him and Dilril Mulrooney mixed up. But
Dilril Mulrooney or whatever. Right.
But he has the look of Alan Wake. He also has kind of like a little arrogant vibe to him, but with a tortured kind of good person down below. So that's who I'd cast. David, did you play either of these games?
Yes, I guess I especially want to focus on Dead Space for me personally. For those of you who don't know, Dead Space is about a character named Isaac Clarke, who's an engineer, goes to deep space and uncovers this thing called the Marker. And there's also this like religious group called the Unitologists, you know, that worship this marker and believe this marker is going to bring humanity into this next level of evolution. And all these monsters come out of nowhere. It's great sci-fi horror. Reminds me a lot of Aliens, especially like Ridley Scott's version of that. But there's also some action, so you could pull in some action. It would make a great film. It's going to be tough to pull off, though. I mean, video games, they don't have a great history. Video game adaptations to film don't always do the best. You know, I mean, Doom, you know? I mean, just saying, it's
But
tough.
I think the thing is, though, I always remind people, now, but remember, comic book movies didn't make that great of adaptations in the beginning. I mean, you had Superman or whatever, you had Batman, but they were very sparse, and people weren't, I mean, come on, the original Fantastic Four, do you remember that one?
Yeah.
The Roger Corman one? It was terrible. It was
So
terrible.
bad nobody saw it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think once people take video game adaptations seriously, they put the money, you get the talent behind it, they will be good. So I see that translation happening. I don't know how soon, but within the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to start seeing much better video game adaptations. Trey, what do you think about these two franchises?
Well, I haven't played either one, but I do know the stories. And I'd have to say that, with Dead Space, I think we could pull it off. I think the technology's there. It's just that we don't want to overdo it with too much CGI. Kind of like what happened with I, Frankenstein. That was an absolute disaster because it looked like a video game. Right. It went from comic book.
There was a lot of things wrong with that movie.
Yes, but I'm just saying the look of it. We're talking about the look of it. But I think Dead Space is one of these movies where I think we could get that right because we've dealt with that kind of subject matter before, and I don't think you need to put a star in there. You can kind of go with some up and comers. I think that if you did put a star in there, it might ruin it.
Right, if you don't mind going off what you're saying, like Judge Dredd. I mean, even though Carl Urban I would consider him a star now. He's getting a little more famous, but Isaac Clarke, like Judge Dredd, has a helmet on most of the time. He's an engineer. He wears this big engineer suit. Part of the whole fun of the game is being able to customize your suit and get different suits. So he's a guy who could be like Carl Urban in Dredd, a guy under a mask the whole time. You wouldn't necessarily have to have a huge star.
Yeah.
Well, even though I haven't played Dead Space, I see it more likely as being a movie just because the fact that it's much more popular. I mean, Dead Space is more known amongst the video game community than Alan Wake. Alan Wake was only on the Xbox 360, and I think it's sold.
The second one ended up being a
DLC.
DLC, right? Yeah.
So I think Dead Space is more likely to happen.
Right.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.